Okay, it is June the 25th, Sunday evening, just after the weekly close. Let's do the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. So let's go ahead and start off with the news events. We don't really have anything to worry about this week. On Tuesday, we have consumer confidence. On Wednesday, we have some speakers, most notably Lagarde. And then on Thursday, we have GDP. But essentially, this is kind of a non-event sort of week for us. So let's go ahead and cover the boomer indexes. Let's start off with the NAS. What we're at with the NAS is we're definitely trading up into major resistance area. The expectation, like we've talked about, has been that this will continue to trade up the rest of the year, but it's definitely at an extension point right now where it's a little bit parabolic. So the two scenarios we talked about were either it trading sideways for an extended period or a pullback. Either or is what we're looking for a continuation in equities. So the TLDR is I would definitely not be selling this at all. I would only be looking to buy the dips or buy range low sweeps. Keep it simple. Fading the strongest asset in the world is probably not the play. So let's go ahead and cover the S&P real quick. S&P more or less the same picture, except the difference is that this one is less overextended to the upside, more or less just playing catch up on, compared to the NAS. Where we're at on this is, same type of situation, 39.5 or 43.5, excuse me, was major resistance. We've traded up into that region and we have now started to trade sideways. The kind of expectation would be that we will continue to trade sideways, potentially have a little bit of a pullback, and then likely continue upwards later in the year, probably in Q3. So boom markets are pretty boring right now. Last week they were pretty flat. Crypto really ripped upwards, so let's go ahead and transition over to crypto. So last week, crypto bulls, showed that they were back. Something I had been talking about was crypto's correlation to equities really fell off. Equities really ripped up in Q2, and crypto just continued to stay in a downtrend. And something I had talked about was the likelihood, or the possibility rather, of crypto playing catch up. Well, last week we got that move. Luckily I was long for everything. I had been expecting this for quite some time. Like we had talked about pretty much ever since, March, definitely once we got into April into Q2 we talked about the idea of us bottoming around the 25K region. The only thing that I really got wrong was the time that it would take. I expected it to be a little bit slower of a bottom where we rounded out a little bit more and then traded upwards, but we kind of blasted up. I think that the ETF news really expedited that. I think without the ETF news, it would have taken a lot longer for us to trade up. So now that we've traded up this way, we'll cover positioning later, but as far as theses go, there's kind of two core scenarios, right? We're either going to continue upwards or we're going to, result in a dead cat. Those are the two, real scenarios. I mean, theoretically, you could just trade sideways, but I don't think that that's even in the realm of possibilities at this point. So, one, continue to trade up. I obviously think that that's the most likely scenario because anytime I've experienced extreme momentum like this, even if you are going to trade down eventually, you will continue to trade in the direction of the impulse until momentum, kind of exhausts outward. So I definitely think that playing continuation in crypto right now is definitely the highest expected value play that you can take. There really isn't any better play than that. So I'll be covering on the lower time frame section some of the different situations. The other situation that could play out on high time frame is this is just a dead cat, right? So continuation, looks like us, compressing sideways and trading upwards and just doing, continuing the trend channel that we've had all year long. The dead cat kind of scenario looks more like us getting rejected from here, and more importantly, kind of reaccepting back below the HVN around the 28K region. And that would be definitely a sign. I should have drawn that a little bit higher. And then if we lose 25K, bulls are completely dead at that point. But I think that this is a really low expectancy. My anticipation is to, for us to continue to trade up. So I'm going to lean very heavily into that. So that's pretty much it for the higher time frame stuff. TLDR is, expecting trend continuation. I'm going to be, continuing to try to suck the juice out of the market while I can, because who knows if this volatility is going to die, next week or whatnot. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the lower time frame here now. For more information, check out the Paragon group with the link below, where I cover everything from how I trade to how you can develop your own style. We had talked about when we're in these kind of lower volatility, choppy kind of periods, that You want to be really keyed up and ready to go and have all your plans in order, because whenever volatility comes back, it comes back in a big way. And I definitely feel pretty confident that most people did not expect this and didn't really get to participate in it. So I really think that upwards continuation is kind of the best scenario for kind of hurting most market participants. I know that on the timeline, you're probably hearing a lot of people being loud and bullish, and it doesn't really mean that they're really positioned properly for it. So I'll go ahead and digress from the Bitcoin talk. That pretty much covers everything. That's pretty much it for that. Again, TLDR, main focus is, how do we interact with this weekend comp? Can we reaccept? Can we fight for this 31.5 region? If we can get back above 31.5, which we're obviously flirting with right now, if we can get back into that region, then I'm targeting up into the 32, 33, 34 region. Probably go ahead and move over into altcoin talk. So the main thing that most people should be focused on, in my opinion, is chasing altcoin beta. I know a lot of people missed Bitcoin, and it's a really common mistake that you miss the benchmark and then you sit there and you go, oh man, I missed it, this sucks, and then you say, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna not pay attention to the market because I'm mad that I missed this trade. But in reality, all you need to be doing right now is just playing catch up with altcoins. That's definitely the play right now. So the two things to be doing are basically, in my opinion, looking for strong VWAPs, which there's not very many of them, and then looking at, strong spaghetti. If you can find a combination where it's strong on spaghetti and VWAP, then that's what you want to be longing for sure. So I'm going to run through a couple ones really quickly. Tomo's been one of my favorite ones. Structure on it is just golden. So as far as VWAPs go, Tomo is definitely a gig chad. This Altcoin is one that I wouldn't be, super interested in it just yet, but I would be waiting for it to kind of bottom out. Just the VWAP structuring is really juicy on it, so I would be watching this one closely. Render's another good one. It's not the most ideal just because it's trading below its quarterly. That's not the most ideal scenario, but this, very quickly, all it would take is 1 day of price action for this thing to be gig strong again. So keep it on my list for the time being, because frankly, there aren't that many actually strong coins right now. Really, Tomo, Ant, and then probably STX are really the only definitively strong coins. I think that coins like Render, INJ, and Metal have potential. Metal actually looks pretty good on its VWAP structuring, and this has been a cartel coin recently. So these are the main, kind of strong coins that I'm going to be paying attention to. That's pretty much it. Definitely keeping a close eye on spaghetti this week. This is going to be something I'm leaning into very heavily with my trading. The other shitcoin that I'm going to be paying close attention to, which I have it on my active trading list, I'm going to be both trying to swing it and probably scalping this one, is going to be Pepe. So Pepe was a banger of a coin last week. So what we're working with on Pepe is basically the anchored VWAP from the original price action on the perp, is now we're fighting for the flip. So really, it's really simple. As long as we're above this VWAP, we want to be leaning long bias, and if we start to break down below it, then we can short this thing into the ground. This has been a very high participation coin recently. This is like the main PvP perp last week, so it's really great for intraday trading, Dalai Lama trading, or scalping. Whatever your style is, I'm going to be incorporating some combination of all three of those basically this week. So that's pretty much it for altcoin stuff, guys. We'll go ahead and digress. So that is pretty much it for the week, guys. I think that there should be some pretty decent opportunity. Whether we go into the week with a little bit of early blood, it's not going to change anything for me either way. I think that leaning into buying the dip is going to be my core focus. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, guys. It doesn't matter whether you want to be a Bitcoin nerd or you want to be an altcoin chad. It doesn't matter. Whatever suits you, go and chase it, guys. This is a week. Cheers.